I'm a rock star, I'm a raised like rail. I ain't taking L's in Madden all year.
Yo, what's good, YouTube? It's Rage Rail. So today's video, I want to show you guys one of the most simplest schemes in Madden 23. So if you enjoy this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go ahead and sub and turn on post notifications on. So I do hope you guys do enjoy this video. Now the playbook that I'm in is the Lions offensive playbook. Again, I'm in the Lions offensive playbook. Now this same exact formation is in the Steelers playbook, but it's only in the Lions and Steelers playbook. Now I'll talk about why I like this formation in a second, but first and foremost, I need to know if you're watching this and you are some of my OGs, or even if you're not, you new time viewers. So if you could do me a favor, if you can actually go in the comments and just let me know if you guys want me to make a next gen ebook. I've been kind of debating it in my head, but I don't want to make an ebook if you guys don't want it. If it's too late in the year, you're not looking to, you know, explore different offenses. So just let me know. And also moving forward, you guys know how I'm gonna do. Well, this is how I'm gonna do my channel from now on. I'm probably gonna do like a next gen upload, then a current gen, a next gen, then the current gen. So that's probably how I'm gonna do it. So just be expecting that. So if you are new, yes, I do make next gen content, and you can check my next gen playlist in my playlist. Anyways, so ebooks, all my ebooks are on my website. The link is in the description. allthingsmadden.com. Everything is on the website. So let's go and dive into this video. So personnel, it doesn't matter too much, but I kind of want to take you through this formation. So we have a RPO, we have the PAY cross, and we have stack out. This is primarily going to be your whole offense between these three plays, which is why I said it's one of the simplest offenses you can run, but one of the pretty effective offense. But 4 verticals is actually the last passing play, which you actually can you can run stock, but it's literally just stock. There's no point in even saying nothing. It's just stock. But I love it versus cover 2 specifically with this particular 4 verts, and I'll show you why here in a little bit. But this whole part is your scheme right here. Now what I'm gonna do is I actually want to sub out. Let's see, we'll come out in PAY cross. So I'm gonna put halfback draw in here just so you can see what that looks like. So we're gonna come out in PAY cross. Now for the defense, you're really gonna face any type of defense with pistol sets, but I'm just doing dollar. And again, I'm only doing dollar because it's still a really meta formation, and because it just has the base coverages I want to go over, which is cover 4 drop, cover 2, cover 3, and man coverage. So what we're gonna do here is come out in cover 3. Now first and foremost, what I do want to mention is why I like this offense. So if you notice, I have the ball on the left hash mark. Now it is not important that it is on the left. Really all you want is whatever main route that you want it to be to the field. So in this scenario with this play, this crosser route, right, you want a lot of room for this crosser to run. Now unfortunately you cannot sub out your tight end for a receiver here. So one thing I like to do is, maybe if I'm facing heavy man coverage, or if I just have a really garbage tight end, what I'll do is I'll flip the play. And notice when I flip the play, there's almost no tail at all. Actually, there's no tail at all. And now I have a wide receiver running this crosser route. And a lot of times what I like to do is invert these two. These two right here, I like to invert. So what that means is I'll take circle, put him on a streak, and I'll take X and I'll put him on either a hitch or well, actually that's all you can't put him on in this scenario is a hitch. But I'll get into my first setup. Actually, you know, I might as well do it right now while I'm talking to you guys. So first setup that I like, I like to put the #1 receiver right here on a hitch, and I'll put the next guy on a streak. And then last, what I like to do is actually take square, put him on a smoke screen, and I like to lead the running back just like this. Now all this is just a simple read between R1, put him on a swing route, I'm sorry, and then take square. You can leave him like that. So I like this read because what we're going to read is the user. So the user is going to follow a triangle, and we're going to read between X right here and triangle. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So what we're going to notice is that R1 is going to widen it out, and then also we're going to have triangle. Now if they're not zone dropping, they're going to play it just like that, where you can throw the halfback swing. But this setup right here in particular, where we have a hitch by this guy, I love this when they start trying to zone drop, because what'll happen is the zone drops will be on this side, and we'll be able to have a nice little concept. Now what you see play this right here is the hook zones. So this is good if your user is not zone dropping, because if he's not gonna zone drop, we have a simple read here between, we can throw the running back quick, we can read between this and this crosser if he's not gonna run, if he's not gonna zone drop. If he does zone drop, this guy will be up here, and what I'll do here is I'll probably end up, not probably, but I'll throw this little swing route right here. Now, another setup that I love versus that style of coverage is we're gonna flip the play. We're gonna do the same thing, X on the hitch, circle on the streak, R1 on the swing to the hitch side. Now what we're gonna do here is take square and actually put him on the in route. So if you're playing a really aggressive user and he's having, and you're having trouble and you're getting baited sometimes, so I would actually like to come to this setup. So what we're gonna do here is read between square, and then we're gonna have triangle, and then actually you're supposed to drift out so that doesn't happen. But we'll look at it in replay so you can understand exactly what was going on here. And again, this offense is good because what I meant by simple is that you're going to base everything off of this one play. Your whole scheme is pretty much designed off this play. Now, right here, they only did this because you have a spy. But to move a spy, all you need to do is move in the pocket. So if I would have just moved this way, I could have just threw this ball right now to this in route, and this works because this crosser route is going to force this hook zone to back up. Notice how they have to back up. They're programmed to do that. So what we do is put them on the in route, and what the in route is going to do, like I said, is going to create that window. So this works versus cover 3, cover 4 drop, anything with a hook zone. Not a vertical hook, anything with a hook zone, and vertical hooks will be similar, but you'll see that here in a second. Now, the reason I like this play is because we kind of created a three-way read right here. So we have the user here, so we'll have this dot right here, we'll have this eventually. So if the user has to bait right now between these two routes, or you could just throw the swing route. If they're not going to put nobody out there, you can throw the swing route, get you about 4, maybe 5 yards, depending on what EA lets you do. So anyways, really love that right there. So next thing I'll show you, I'll go ahead and show you real quick versus the cover 4 drop, just so you don't think this is just for anybody out there that might doubt what I'm saying. So anyway, look at square, you can see we can hit them if we wanted, and then triangle, you always want to wait until late and then get a nice little toe tap animation. I think they threw him out of bounds that time, but you get the idea. So before I forget, I want to show you these run plays. So I mean, they're nothing special. The bad thing is that these screens aren't as good unless they zone drop. Like if they start trying to zone drop to account for your crosser, I love to throw those screens. But if not, the run play itself is actually pretty good. They do a great job of blocking. Normally, now it all depends on what formation they're in. If they're in a heavy 3-4 formation, I would just pass the ball, to be honest, because they don't have like your zones, your stretches, and all that. They just have the RPO alert screens. And I'll show you one time versus the screens. But zone coverage is just not going to do a great job at all. If you notice, like they're not going to do a great job blocking, and it's the same way for man. I just need you to trust me on that, okay? So one thing I do like running though versus man is going to be this halfback draw. Halfback draws are normally always good versus man, but I'm gonna show you zone first just in case you just want to see. But essentially they're always going to be good versus man. But also keep in mind, I have garbage defensive tackles in, so those running lanes may not be as open when you're playing, and I only have the garbage defensive line for passing, pass protection. So anyways, we're gonna look at halfback draw versus man, and ideally this is when you want to call the draw, when you believe they're playing man. And the only reason why, and like I said, please don't expect to get those super big gaps, but it can be possible, okay? And what you want to remember is if they're playing heavy man coverage, just sneak in a draw every now and again. And the reason why you say that is because we're taking people, draws are designed to beat man coverage. That's what they're designed to do, because we're taking 1, 2, 3, we're taking 4 defenders out of the play already, which is why if they play some, dime or nickel style man, you can sneak in these little draws and actually gain you about 4 or 5 yards. So that is definitely real possible, so just keep that in mind when you're playing. But like I said, if you don't want to flip your offense, so I'll leave it right here. So that's one setup I like. So I'm just going to kind of go through this and do it a little bit different than my average videos. I'm just going to kind of give you guys setups that I like. Let me know if you'd rather me do it this way. So what we're going to do here is take triangle, put them on a streak, and I like to take circle right here, put them on a hitch. And what this is going to do is when your opponent starts zone dropping, you want to be able to use this setup right here, because what's going to happen is you're going to look between circle and square and then X. That's going to be your read progressions every single time. And like I said, if they are going to zone drop, you have to make sure you capitalize. And I love this play action because a lot of times you aren't going to get like a little instant shed animation, nothing like that. It's a really smooth play action, so I do like to keep it. And this running back settling up right here is actually real key. Normally they get out the backfield a little better, but essentially I love to come to this play when I think they're zone dropping to try to guard this crosser, or if I ran that play enough to where their user wants to go run with our crosser. And what you can actually do here is actually just playmaker. So if you drift this way, you can playmaker him. If you drift this way, you can playmaker him. So like I said, I love this whenever my opponent's zone dropping, because we have 3 reads right in front of our face if we need to dump it off, and we also have a route that's going to push down the field. So you know, it's just a really great counter route. So the only sad thing is that you can't motion nobody. Notice how I try to click and motion them. So you just kind of have to run everything as is. Now, if you're getting man coverage, there's a couple things that you can do. So first is man coverage. I would take square right here, put him on a slant, and I'll take equally triangle on this route if you want to. Sometimes if you have a good advantage, sometimes that little wheel route will be open sometimes. Now, if I want to keep this in route, I'm going to take R1, put them on the swing route this way. And this is just your typical classic, you know, man coverage style beater play where you have square, X, and then you're going to have circle late as far as, you know, your read progressions. Now, ideally, please, you do not want your tight end running across the route, okay? Unless you have a high-end tight end, a high-end tier. Now, I don't even know who this guy is. He might not even be here in the next Madden, but essentially, I would never have him running a crosser in the game, so I would flip this play, and I'll talk about that in a second. But first, I wanted to kind of show you this. This is what I was kind of telling you about. So sometimes they'll stick their foot in the ground, and they might be able to get a foot race. So if they have no safety over the top, these little wheel type of routes, sometimes they can be good when they stick that foot right there and start accelerating. Sometimes. Now, it all depends on, you know, who you have a receiver, you know, EA, all that matters. So just please throw that at your own discretion. But anyways, what I like to do here is like I said, versus man, I'll talk about man here. I'll show you just kind of what I meant. So I will flip it, and I would actually take my tight end here. If I didn't have an athletic tight end, I would actually put him on a drag and or a slant. No, I'll probably put him on a drag, take circle, put him on a slant, or you could do it with zig route. So zig route is going to be a little bit more smooth, and you just want to swing the running back out the way. So if I did this setup, I would look at zig first if I have a decent tight end. The slant is going to hold the user, and you're going to read between triangle and square right there. So I kind of talk to you what I mean. So look at circle, look at triangle, and of course, you know, square is going to be open late. So like I said, it's not like some groundbreaking setups I'm giving you guys, but it's putting it all together and showing you guys how you can actually scheme all of this together. So there's so many good things that you could do with this play. Even for example, you can take square, put them on in route. Smart route is in route. You could take circle, put them on a hitch right here. And you could take R1 and put them on a swing to this side. And this is another really great setup that's going to beat every single coverage in the game. We're going to read between circle, R1, and then we're going to hit square. Now, obviously not right there, but you get the idea. And I'll show you in the replay. But that only works with throwing square in particular. That's versus cover 2. But anyways, what you're going to read between is going to be this crosser route, and you're going to read between either the in route or the smoke screen down here, or of course you can hit your running back out the backfield. So you have plenty of options, man. Now cover 2, I want to show you cover 2. And with the cover 2, if your opponent plays cover 2, you really want to be on this hash mark or any hash mark, and you want to throw it to the receivers that are on both sides right here. So normally you see this little in route kind of by the tight end, how he kind of runs and goes in. I like to use that route because for some reason this particular route forces the safety to stay inside. Now I know it bends inside, but it forces the safety not to be able to make a play on circle. So I know that may be confusing, but I'll go ahead and show you what I'm talking about so you guys can be on the same page. Basically what we're going to do here is push this ball outside. So you need to drift, and then you're going to be able to throw it on a hard pass lead. Now you have to pass lead it hard, or you have to throw it early. Whichever one you want, it's completely up to you. Now if they zone drop, you can still throw it, but it's just going to take longer to get open, if that makes sense. And if they start zone dropping in cover 2, we can run all the concepts I just told you about, and we can attack the flats. If they choose to make their their cornerbacks go to about a 25-yard zone drop, we could just eat them up right up in here, you know, with the scheme that I told you about. So anyways, if they're gonna play regular cover 2, what happens here is that you can actually push this ball outside right now, and you'll be able to make a nice throw. Now, one thing I do want to show you before I kind of wrap it up, but most people, I ain't say most people, there's some people who will actually take their safety and they'll push them outside and they'll push them outside. There's some people who like the dead giveaway they're playing cover 2. I just want to show you what it looks like if somebody does that and you want to try to still see if you can split it or not. And again, you want to use the route that forces the safety inside. One thing I will say too is if for some reason this guy just isn't pushing that safety far enough back fast, you can just flip the play and run it to the other hash and just use these two guys as those routes, if that makes sense. Hope that makes sense. I tried my best to explain it to you. But anyways, you just want to drift out and then you just want to deliver that ball. And you could tell they kind of bumped into each other. But I just wanted you to see that it really doesn't matter if they scoot them out. It's just, you know, in your mind you think it matters. But in actuality, EA has already programmed these guys to play a certain way based on a certain concept. So even if you scoot them out, they're still going to play on this inside, if that makes sense, because they have to, their program. And what happens is you get a nice pass lead angle to pass lead this ball out here. Now, like I said, just be careful because sometimes this doesn't always happen where they bump into each other. That doesn't always happen. But what I wanted you to see most importantly is that you just want to wait, and you want to force this ball outside. So I just, you know, it's something I like for cover 2. Now, it's not something I'm just calling every play, obviously, but if you want to, that's up to you. But one thing I should mention though, I was kind of playing around. This will be the last thing I give you now to wrap it up for this video. I was looking at this for, oh, actually stack Y out, excuse me. So stack Y out, I almost forgot about this play. So what I like to do is I like to, there's two setups I like. So there's a zone beater and man beater. So versus zone, you want to take circle, put them on a streak, and you want to be on the whatever two sides you have running, whatever sides you have running the corner route. You need to make sure they're on the wide side. So you want to take circle, put them on a streak. And I like to take R1 right here and just swing him to the other side, or you can block him, whichever one, it doesn't matter. But if you swing him, this is just good for match coverage. Just to give you a little hint on that, it's just good versus match to cancel out the quarter flat. So anyways, we'll go ahead and block him though for now. And last thing I like to do that's pretty important is you want to take X, you want to smart route his route right here. So notice how it's shorter. And basically with this, you want to wait. So you want to wait until he turns around. And when he turns around, you want to throw it down. So like what I was doing is pass leading it down and then hitting X to possession catch it. So I was telling you that for a reason, because if your opponent is not zone dropping still, or if they're zone dropping too far, a lot of times you can actually let this route settle up. And if you throw this ball too early, what'll happen here is if I try to throw this ball now, he'll actually be able to click on and make a pick on that. So that's why you want to wait, because it's going to let this receiver push that cornerback even further out to where he'll just never get there. And the purple, if they're not zone drop, they're going to come down. And here on this side, you can tell we're going to just have literally a simple read between this little zig in route, if you will. We can hit that off the break if we wanted to. And of course, you're just making a read between high-low, you know, so just real simple read. So cover 4 drop, I'll show you the same thing. You might be wondering, well, if they play cover 4 drop and press, will I still be able to throw that? And my answer to you is just look and see. So anyways, like I said, you just want to wait. And then once he settles up, you want to pass lead it inside. Now, you don't have to possession catch it if you don't want to. You can tell right there, we can turn up the field. But this is one of the rare corner routes where you actually want to wait until they actually catch the ball. And I'll show you versus cover 2 here in a second what it looks like. But regardless, you can tell the same things are going to be open. We can hit this. Now, I would never throw this out the break right here because the hook zones are going to come down. So, you know, your best read beat is just to throw this ball right here. But anyways, it's just all about reading. But I'll show you cover 2, and I want to give you a man cover setup out of the same play, and then that's going to wrap it up for this video. And again, maybe I wouldn't use this as like a every single down scheme because the run plays aren't that great in here, but it's a really good audible 2 formation, you know. So if you know your opponent's playing a lot of zone drop, those RPO screens are really good versus that. So anyways, notice how cover 2, notice how the cornerback actually did not drop. So this is cover 2 actually does a great job of covering this particular setup. And again, that's because the cornerback does not drop, because there's nothing here making him drop fast enough. So if we wanted him to drop faster, what we could probably do, which I'll show you real quick, what we probably could do is, let's go to stack out. We may be able to actually just leave the route stock and actually take our R1 and put him on a swing route. And this right here should actually force the cornerback to actually play should actually force the cornerback to drop off a lot sooner. So we'll see right here. So notice how now if we let it go, we have more room. And like I said, you don't have to smart route it for all the other coverages, but I just personally like to do it. And we'll run it one more time with the cornerback actually off, because I know you guys might have seen him get bumped at the line. So maybe you're curious about if that had an effect. But we're going to go ahead and swing and run it back to that side. And again, it's just because of how they're programmed is why we're able to do that. So if your opponent's playing regular style cover 2, you're going to feast. You know, you're going to feast. That's it. Now, last thing I want to show you guys is man coverage, and then that's going to wrap it up for the video. So if your opponent's playing heavy man coverage still and you want just a different setup, what you can do is take circle, you can smart route his route, and you can take X and put him on a slant. And remember, please remember, you can flip the play, okay? So if you don't like the fact that this receiver is running that out route, or this tight end's running the slant, you could flip the play all you want to. But anyways, I really love this setup. Now if you want the running back to do something to get the user out the way, you could put him on a swing route to this left side. So now we have a slant swing with the zig in route, and we have a dig route. So it's really just going to cause a lot of congestion for the user. Now you want to look at X in the circle. I want to talk about circle real quick, and then that's going to wrap it up for the video. This is matchup based, okay? This route right here can beat man coverage, but St. Brown is not going to beat Jeer. Actually, right there, you actually did get a little step on him. And in current gen, you could throw this. That's open for current gen. Now, next gen, I can't speak for that just yet. But current gen, you can easily throw this ball right here, get a nice little possession catch. But you can kind of tell what I mean. It's basically it's a man beater route, because he does he actually runs the route hard, if that makes sense. So anyways, I like to look at this first just to see if they have a purple here or something, and see if I have a good matchup. But normally my reads are going to be between the slant, which I don't know why he got broke off that hard. I don't know what happened, but don't expect that in the game. But I like to read between the slant, and sometimes this in route can win. This little zig in route, they're supposed to beat man coverage, but practice mode, they're either going to bag something or they're going to just, get completely busted. So anyways, your read progressions here just are normally between this little route, which does get open a lot, and then the slant, and then the in route, of course, is a late read. But I love this route right here as my first read. So anyways, using this formation, like I said, you can audible to different formations. So notice how you have, the trips tight end, the bunch tight end. So I would use this formation as far as an audible formation. So maybe if you're feeling bagged in something and you just kind of want to branch out a little bit, maybe they're zone dropping, playing some weird coverage, and you want to see what they're doing. This is how I like it. Or if you want to come out in this offense and then force them to come in something, you can do a lot, because you can actually come in under center. So it's a really, really good, you can actually come out and empty and then audible. So it's just, there's a lot you can do with this offense, and it's a simple offense. So if you want to audible down, you can have simple play calls that are effective. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I do hope you have a blessed day. I'm Ray Jarrell, and I'm out.